It was 2006, and we were at my parents' house in Boston, and Justine and I had just had a lovely evening with them, and we're up in the bedroom kind of getting ready for bed, and she turns to me and with some unwelcome news. I'm pregnant. Now, that was not good news for me. I was not happy. Justine came from a 3-child family. She had a brother and a sister, and they each had 3 kids. So that made sense to her. But for me, I came from a 2-child family. And in my world, that made sense, right? You go to a restaurant, 4-top, right? You go to you get in a car, 2 in the front, 2 in the back. You go to a hotel, and there's 2 beds. You know, you can split up the beds. If one parent just needs a break, one parent takes 2 kids, and the other one has some time alone. If you want some special time with your kid, 1-on-1, it makes perfect sense. 3, not so much. And we had 2 kids. We had Cody and Kyle. They were 5 and 3 at the time. And I was happy with that. You know, I mean, yes, it would have been nice to have a girl, but I thought, okay, I got 2 kids, I'm great. And I remember we went to Vasco. And you guys remember Vasco? Who remembers Vasco? Okay, it's a restaurant here in Mill Valley. Anyway, it was. And it's now the corner bar. And we went to Vasco, and I remember sitting there in the restaurant at a 4-top, or sorry, at a 2-top, and there was another couple there with their 2 boys. And I'm thinking, like, oh my God, they're the older, you know, they're teenage boys. That's going to be me someday. With my 2 kids and that 4-top, it makes sense. Justine and the Fates had some other plans in mind. It all started, and you guys close your ears for me. It all started one night when Justine was wearing these boots. Let's just say we call them Issa boots. That's her name, Issa. And so we decided that, it was happening. It was happening. We're going to do this thing. And we decided that, we decided that we would Justine had always planned on having natural childbirth, right? Because that's how she is. She's a superhero. It's amazing. She had no drugs, and we had 3 kids. Now, each kid, of course, had their own quirky thing that happened. Cody decided it was a really good idea to be born on a Friday at 5 p.m., and we had to drive to Pleasanton from Mill Valley. So there I was, weaving in and out of traffic like a sitcom, and we got pulled over not once but twice by 2 different police officers who neither gave us a ticket nor a police escort. So but we got there, Cody was fine. Then it was Kyle. We had a doula. We're going to be at our house. She's going to come in, and she's going to help give birth. We help Justine give birth. And right at the last minute, Justine spikes 102 fever. We had to rush to the hospital. She got her antibiotics, and then 2 seconds later, without drugs, of course, out pops Kyle. So Issa, we were going to have this kid at home. That was the plan, okay? We hired a midwife. That was what was going to happen. So the day comes. Justine comes into the room at like 4 in the morning and says, my water broke, but it's not happening yet. We had 3 kids, 2 other kids. We're like, okay, we both go back to sleep. The next morning, we wake up, and the plan was to go on a hike with my sister. It was going to be me, not just who's going to stay home. And then I was going to take the 2 boys with my sister for a hike. And we get to the door, and we're about to leave, and Justine says, no, you're not going. It's happening. And I'm like, oh, okay. So my sister graciously takes the 2 boys on a hike and away, and I call the midwife. And the plan was that she was going to have this birth that was just going to work. It was going to be, she was going to labor in the hot tub, and she was going to be surrounded by pillows and comfort, and it was all going to be wonderful. That is not what happened. Justine didn't make it to the living room. She was on the ground, all 4s, and going into contractions. And we're like, okay. So she has a contraction. It stops. I run upstairs and get some supplies and come back down. She has another contraction. Stop. I run upstairs and get some more supplies and come back down. But the thing is, what's so amazing is, again, for some reason, we're both in this Zen space. She's just breathing through the pain. I'm looking at my BlackBerry, like looking at like what messages I might have, not swiping, because you don't do that back. It was more typing things. I'm looking at the BlackBerry, just looking at my work email, because it's going to be fine. It's all going to be fine. And then at one point, I get up to get something, maybe some water or something, and I'm coming back, and she says, she's coming. And I said, the midwife? And she's like, no, she's coming. I'm like, she is not, oh my God, she's coming. So she's crowning. And next thing I know, there's a push, and this little baby head is popping out. And again, I am in the Zen mode. I take the little squeegee, and I squeeze out her nose and her mouth, and I make sure the umbilical cord isn't wrapped around her neck. And another push, and the shoulder pops out. And another push, and a little bit of pull, and out slides this baby into my hands onto the floor. Yeah, Isis always talks about how I dropped her. I did. It was more of a gentle sort of introducing her to the earth. So I picked her up, and I put her on Justine's chest. And not 2 minutes later, Justine will argue this, but not 2 minutes later, the midwife came in. And I had the peace of mind to say to her, do we get a discount? She said no. The fates and my wife wanted me to bond with my daughter. I was the first one to see her. I was the first one to pick her up. I was the first one to squeeze her foot. And I was the first one to drop her. And she and I are super close. She is one of the most important people in my life, my whole family, of course, but she's very special in that we share the same sense of humor. We have the same lust for life, passion for life. And the gods, the fates, and Justine wanted me to have a daughter, and I did. And her name is Isa.